If your eyes have opened at 3 a.m. and your mind is already forecasting disaster, hear this gently. The hour is not your master. The numbers shining in the darkness do not command your thoughts, define your future, or tell you what must happen next. You are awake in an anxious hour, but you are not under the authority of that hour. Perhaps the waking felt sudden. Perhaps fear arrived before you could form a clear thought, and now every uncertainty seems urgent. The alarm in your body is real, and it deserves tenderness. But feeling alarmed does not make the feared future certain. Anxiety speaks as though its prediction has already become a verdict. Faith does not ask you to deny the fear. It reminds you that fear is not qualified to interpret the night. This moment may become a moment of prayer. It may become a quiet place of honesty, trust, and surrender. But the clock itself is not a prophecy. It is not a warning you must decode, and it offers no mystical guarantee about what God is doing. 3 in the morning is a point in time. It has no secret authority over you. God is already present. God is already attentive. Before you understand why you woke, before you find the right words, before calm returns, you are known and accompanied. This does not promise that every circumstance will unfold as you prefer. It means you do not have to face this minute as though everything depends on your vigilance. You do not have to solve the whole night. You do not have to force yourself back to sleep. You do not have to follow every frightening thought into an imagined tomorrow. For these next few minutes, you may simply remain here with God. Let the unanswered questions wait. Let the clock become only a clock. Let this wakeful minute be a place where prayer can begin, not a judgment upon your life. And what can you do when fear is loud, but the hour has lost its authority? Begin with what is here, not with what might be. The room, the bed beneath you, the breath still moving through you. Stay here for one gentle breath. Stay with that gentle breath. Before you ask what this waking means, allow your body to be here. Let the exhale lengthen without forcing it. Unclench your jaw if it is tight. Let your shoulders fall a little. Rest your hands where they do not have to grip or carry anything. This is not a test of calm. It is permission to stop bracing for one moment. Perhaps worry woke with you. Perhaps there is pain, a long season of waiting, a responsibility that feels too heavy, or a fear you have not known how to name. Whatever is present, you do not have to shame yourself for feeling it. Racing thoughts do not make you faithless. A frightened body does not mean you have been abandoned. Struggling in the night does not make you spiritually defective. You are human, you are vulnerable, and God is not startled by either truth. Now breathe in slowly and quietly pray, "You are near." Let the breath arrive without strain, then breathe out and pray, "I do not have to solve this now." Again, if it helps, "You are near," and then, "I do not have to solve this now." You are not trying to manufacture peace. You are giving your body a simple truth to return to while your thoughts are still unsettled. The bed continues to support your weight. The room remains around you. One breath comes, and then another. You do not need to reach the morning in your mind. You only need to receive this breath, in this place, with God. Before you can organize a perfect prayer, God is already present to receive an imperfect one. A sigh can be prayer. A whispered sentence can be prayer. Even your silence can remain open before the one who knows what you cannot yet explain. Nearness does not wait for composure. Let the exhale soften you once more. Let your hands remain open and unburdened.
The cause of this waking may still be unresolved, and the outcome of the night may still be unknown. But this moment can be met one breath at a time. And as the body becomes a little less guarded, the mind may still reach for an explanation. So ask gently, what meaning have you given this hour? And is the clock able to carry it? The mind may answer that question quickly. Perhaps this waking is a warning. Perhaps it is an attack.
Perhaps you have been given an assignment or a message you must understand before you can rest. When fear is searching for certainty, almost any interpretation can begin to feel urgent. But hear this plainly and gently. The time on the clock is not enough to diagnose why you woke. 3 a.m. does not prove that something supernatural has happened. It does not guarantee that God is sending a hidden message, and it does not require you to search for one. There may be an ordinary reason for your waking, or a reason you cannot identify tonight. You are allowed not to know. Prayer loses nothing when the hour loses its mystery. You do not need a magical moment in order to turn toward God. Any moment of fear can become a moment of prayer, because God is already present in every hour. What gives this waking spiritual meaning is not a secret power in the number, but your freedom to bring your honest attention back to Him. Anxiety demands an explanation tonight. Faith permits you to seek God without inventing one. Even the observed content identified as E15 offers only a contextual example of anxiety and peace language, framed around the hours from 3 to 5 in the morning. That narrow framing is less established than the broader practice of nighttime prayer, and it provides no evidence that these hours carry inherent spiritual significance. A repeated theme is not a revelation. A familiar claim is not the same as a trustworthy conclusion. So test the interpretation by what it asks of you. If it multiplies dread, drives you into compulsive decoding, makes you feel uniquely chosen for some grand role, or gives you certainty that the clock itself cannot provide, you do not have to receive it. Set it down. You may keep only the simple invitation that remains. Pray honestly. Ask for wisdom. Admit what you do not know. Let God be God without forcing the hour to explain Him. The clock is not speaking over you. It is not naming your future or issuing a spiritual verdict. God is already near, and your attention can return to Him, quietly, freely, without decoding the darkness. And if the clock cannot tell you what this waking means, where does your help come from? Who remains watchful when you cannot keep watch over everything? The answer rises beyond the clock. Psalm 121 turns your attention upward and asks where help comes from. Not from deciphering the hour, not from tracing every fearful possibility. Help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. The one who holds creation does not need a number in the night to tell him where you are. The psalm calls God your keeper. Then it offers a particular comfort for this wakeful moment. The keeper of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. Your eyes may be open, but the world has not been left unattended. You are not awake because God has looked away. You are not the final guard at the door of every possible outcome. Divine attention has not weakened with the darkness. God is not startled by this hour. God is not absent from this room. God is not dependent on your vigilance. Let that truth settle gently. Before fear began rehearsing tomorrow, God's attentive presence was already here. Before you noticed your breathing change, before the first urgent question formed, before your thoughts began moving toward everything that might go wrong, you were already seen. You were already accompanied. You were already held within the care of the one who remains awake with you. This does not mean every hardship will be prevented, every pain immediately cured, or every uncertainty explained before morning. God's keeping is not magical insulation from the realities of being human. It is the deeper assurance that no reality must be faced alone or forgotten. His watchfulness does not promise the circumstance you prefer. It promises His faithful presence within the circumstance you have. So you may quietly say, "You are awake with me. I can stop standing guard over everything." Say it slowly enough for your body to hear it. You can release the need to monitor every danger, rehearse every conversation, or prepare for every possible loss. There may be something to do when daylight comes. There may be help to seek, wisdom to receive, or a step to take. but you are not required to carry the whole approaching day during this present hour. Psalm 121 speaks of your coming and your going being kept, so entrust both directions to God, the path behind you, the path ahead, this present night, and the morning you cannot yet see. You are awake, but you are not alone. You are watchful, but you are not the keeper of the world. And because the one who sees you is still near, you no longer have to hide behind general fear. You may speak plainly now. What specifically are you afraid of? Because God remains attentive, you can tell the truth without protecting Him from it, and without protecting yourself with vague words. Bring the burden close enough to name, but do not force yourself to explain everything. One plain sentence is enough. God, I am afraid that, or God, I do not know what to do about. Perhaps the sentence concerns someone you love. Perhaps it concerns your health, your work, your money, a conflict, a grief, a guilt you have carried, or a decision whose consequences you cannot see. Do not choose a concern because it sounds more spiritual or more reasonable. Simply notice which fear keeps returning and place that one before God.
Naming the fear is not the same as feeding it. Rumination takes one possibility and repeatedly adds detail until an imagined future begins to feel present. Honest petition moves differently. It does not build the scene, it brings the actual pain into relationship with God. It says, "This is what hurts. This is what I need. This is what I cannot control." You may not know how to finish the sentence. You may become quiet halfway through it. Tears may come before words, or no tears may come at all. You may only be able to say, "God, this is the thing I cannot bear to think about." Eloquence is not the price of being heard. Certainty is not required. Your unfinished prayer is still offered within the attention of God. So pray in 3 gentle movements. First, name what hurts. God, I am afraid of losing this person, facing this news, failing in this responsibility, or making the wrong choice. Use your own words. Let them be simple and true. Then ask for the help needed today. Not every answer for the future, but what is needed now. Ask for courage, wisdom, mercy, endurance, clarity, comfort, forgiveness, or the strength to take one faithful step when the time comes. Finally, release what cannot be controlled tonight. God, I place the outcome beyond my reach into your care. Keep me near while I wait. Fear says everything must be solved now. Faith whispers that the next truthful prayer is enough for this moment. You have named the burden. You have asked for help. You have loosened your claim upon the outcome. Now let the words become quiet. Before gathering this prayer into the pattern Scripture gives, remain here for a moment and speak to God in the silence. Remain in that silence for one more breath. Then let Philippians 4 give your prayer a simple order: prayer, petition, thanksgiving, and peace. The passage is not a rebuke for feeling anxious.
It is an invitation to bring what troubles you into the presence of God, specifically and honestly, rather than carrying it alone. Begin with prayer. God, I am here and you are near. You do not need to create His attention. You are turning toward the one who is already attentive. Now return to the burden you named. Let petition make the request concrete. Ask for wisdom where the way is unclear. Ask for endurance where the waiting is long. Ask for provision where there is need, reconciliation where a relationship is wounded, protection where there is danger, courage where fear has narrowed your choices, or help taking the next faithful step. You are not demanding control of the entire outcome. You are asking for grace sufficient to meet what is yours to face. Then add thanksgiving gently. Thanksgiving does not require you to call pain good or pretend the concern has disappeared. It may be as simple as thanking God that you can pray now, that you have been sustained before,
that one mercy remains present, or that his nearness is not withdrawn by your distress. Gratitude does not erase grief. It remembers that grief is not the only truth in the room. And Philippians 4 speaks of the peace of God guarding the heart and mind in Christ. Notice the change of watch. Anxiety has been trying to protect you by anticipating every outcome, but it cannot secure the future. God's peace stands where your vigilance has exhausted itself. You may stop attempting to guard everything, because your heart and mind can be entrusted to a care greater than your own. The material identified as E5 confirms how deeply promises of peace, calm, and rest resonate across the analyzed prayer landscape. Yet resonance is not a guarantee of immediate relief. You may still feel unsettled. Sleep may return soon, or it may not. Guarded peace is not the absence of every lingering emotion. It is the posture of a life no longer surrendered to that emotion's command.
So say quietly, "Fear may speak, but it will not write my next sentence. I will pray, ask, remember, and entrust." Breathe in and receive God's nearness. Breathe out and release the burden you named. Again, receive His nearness, release the burden. This is the pattern you can return to whenever anxious waking comes. Pray, ask, remember, and trust. Peace grows here without pretending the burden is gone. And as morning approaches, remember, entrusting is not the same as ignoring. Some concerns can wait. Others may call for a faithful action, wise counsel, or appropriate care. The next question is not whether you must control everything, but what love and wisdom may ask you to do. What love and wisdom ask may be simpler than fear suggests. Prayer and appropriate care are companions, not rivals. Seeking help does not prove that faith has failed. Trust does not require you to ignore reality. It frees you to meet reality without pretending that you must meet it alone. Gently sort the concern before you. Perhaps there is nothing you can safely or usefully do tonight. Perhaps there is one responsible task to remember for tomorrow. Or perhaps the situation genuinely requires assistance now. You do not need to confuse these categories, and you do not need to treat every anxious impulse as an emergency. If one task belongs to tomorrow, write a brief note, the call to make, the question to ask, the appointment to arrange, or the person to contact. One sentence is enough. The note can remember what your mind is afraid to forget. You do not need to construct a complete strategy in the darkness. Record the next step, then allow the rest of the planning to wait for daylight, when more information and support may be available. If anxiety persists, sleep is repeatedly disrupted, panic returns, or distress is making daily life difficult, please reach beyond this moment of prayer. Contact an appropriate healthcare professional and consider speaking with someone you trust for pastoral or personal support. Receiving care can be one way of receiving provision. You are not less faithful because another person helps you carry what has become too heavy. And if you are in immediate danger or believe you may harm yourself or someone else, contact local emergency services or an available crisis resource now. If possible, tell a trusted person nearby, and do not remain alone with the danger. Prayer can accompany that action. It should not be used to delay urgently needed help. Now ask quietly, "God, give me wisdom to recognize the difference between fear's urgency and an action that is truly necessary. Show me what can wait, what belongs to tomorrow, and what requires help now." Then listen without forcing an answer. Anxiety may insist that everything must happen immediately. Wisdom can be clear without being frantic. Love can lead you toward rest, toward one responsible step, or toward the courage to ask for assistance. If nothing needs to be done now, resting is a faithful response. If help is needed, reaching for it can also be faithful. Once the next step is settled, you may place the remainder of the night down. You have not ignored the concern. You have given it its proper place, and you do not have to demand that this hour carry what belongs to morning. Now the concern has been given its proper place. The clock no longer commands this moment. Your body has been invited to soften. The fear has been spoken plainly. The request has been offered, and the next faithful step has been discerned. Nothing more must be proved tonight. You do not need a sign from the hour. You do not need to produce a perfect feeling. You may simply release what remains. Open your hands if that is comfortable. Entrust the person you cannot protect by worrying. Entrust the problem you cannot resolve from the...
Entrust the decision that will require wisdom when its time comes. Entrust tomorrow with all that is known and all that is still uncertain. God is already present there, just as God is present here. The keeper, described in Psalm 121, remains attentive. If sleep comes quickly, you are kept. If wakefulness continues a while, you are still kept. Divine care does not begin when you finally relax, and it does not disappear when anxious feelings linger. You are not required to stay alert in order to preserve God's attention. May the peace described in Philippians 4 guard your heart and mind now, not because every question has been answered, but because every question can remain before God. Do not measure this prayer by whether your emotions change immediately. Do not measure it by how soon your eyes close. Faithfulness is not a sensation you must achieve. You are accompanied. You are heard. You are free to stop keeping watch. Take one final, unhurried breath. As you breathe in, pray, God, you remain with me. As you breathe out, pray, I release this night to you. And now, let there be quiet. No explanation to pursue. No outcome to force. No further words required. If sleep returns, receive it gently, without turning it into evidence that you prayed correctly. If you remain awake, return to the simple prayer without fearing the hour. God's presence is not determined by sleep or wakefulness, calm or unease. The night can be surrendered even while feelings take time to follow. Quietly make this your private commitment. This hour belongs to God, not fear. Amen.